In the last episode, we created a music sheet with our bossa nova chords progression. Today we are recording rhythm section based on that music sheet. Let's get started. Like any recording session, we have absolutely no idea how long it will take. The good news is that we've got the template called a music sheet. MPC users, the whole community, they got familiar with something called sequence. We are using our music sheet, what includes two different separate sequences, which we call introduction and the verse. We will approach these sequences slightly different because each sequence it's gonna be different from each other. The amount of bars, the amount of chords, what kind of chords, everything will change based on these circumstances. So we are diving into recording session with our bossa nova. We are recording the essence of the rhythm section into individual tracks. We want to respect your time, so we are going to set these tracks for you in a fast tempo. Alright, we are finally finished. This prep work is very important. It allows me to now be more creative and have less issues, less problems. I basically select the track, I see the name of the track, I go for it. So without extra dwelling and making extra adjustments, I will be able to kind of be more creative, spill the essence faster than I ever could. When you look at the first sequence, it says introduction, drums, drums. When I say sequence 2, it's called verse, drums, drums. And the verse, drums, acoustic bass, piano, and electric piano. And the verse 1, drums, acoustic bass, piano, and electric piano. Both sequences have been organized the same way. I can navigate through the windows very quickly. Why? Because I can see everything what's going on in front of me. I thought about the instrumentation before I touched the MPCX. We selected our rhythm section. Our rhythm section includes the drum set, the acoustic bass, the acoustic piano, electric piano. For now, we are ready to go. Now, we are going to follow the music sheet, what we created in a previous episode, from scratch, by the way. If you are curious how did it happen, watch the previous video, how we wrote down the bossa nova from scratch. Right now, we are going to concentrate on the introduction. Sequence 1. The amount of bars, 16. Do it. Start 1 and 16. 0 transposition. Of course, we are going to loop it. Now, under the sequence intro, we are going to switch to the drum set. All right, which drum set it's gonna Cuban, Latin Cuban drums, Cuban jazz. Let's see if the sound of that instrument is gonna speak to us better. Okay. Once we know the drum set or the beat we want, we can start recording. The music sheet is gonna help us to measure our progress. I'm watching it carefully. Chords progression at this moment doesn't mean anything because we are about to record the drum set. But as a drummer, I'm aware of the chords progression. Okay, so my playing becomes more musical. So I put myself into shoes of drummer, and we are about to record our drum track. Remember, I'm gonna do one instrument, one at the time. I'm familiar with the drum set, but I'm not a drummer player. I'm just a composer and arranger who knows how to use it. So this MPC X and the way it functions is gonna tremendously help me out with that challenge. Start from the beginning, record and play start. Tempo. Tam ta ta tam ta ta tam ta ta tam. Boom pa 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 pa. We are dealing with bossa nova. We established the rhythm 83 beats per minute. Since the bass kick kind of repeats itself, I'm going to copy and paste the same playing for the next 8 bars. Okay, we've got this. Now, I don't want to delete what I just played, I want to add to it. Overdub, very important. And I'm gonna do something different in the end. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm trying to put my shoes in a drum set. Come to an end. I'm gonna open. All right, we'll just pretend that we like it. Now, I want to do a rim. That's it. With the sticks. overdub. Something else, and there will be some kind of ending involved. Okay? Next time. Yeah, let's do a bunch of... Okay, now okay, so now I'm familiar with the symbols, overdub, and see what we can do. Okay, some tom-toms. That's the floor. So these four, I'm gonna use them sometime. All right, so this is the fundamental concept of tower rhythm. And of course, later on, we're going to add some congas, some percussion instruments. So this kind of, the rhythmic structure will grow over time. I could totally agree with you. If you ask this question, it's like, what's the point of recording 16 bars of every single pad when I can basically record only 2 bars or 4 bars and then copy them, copy, and then I've got exactly the same rhythm, continuation of the same rhythm. I could totally agree with you. However, I want to put myself in the shoes of the musician who jams with other musicians. You understand? So the 16 bar phrase allows me to see the music from the perspective of a musician. So I'm jamming with other instruments. Other instruments, they don't exist, but they are coming. So I have to play this imaginary game like I'm about to play with the bass player, piano player. So I want to inspire not only my senses, but theirs as well. So if I repeat the same thing over and over again, they could get bored with me. And guess what? In the end, I could lose the job. All right, this is what we have so far. So we are pretending that there's nothing we want to change, everything is perfect. Excellent. Okay, so our template allows us to work very fast. Now I'm selecting another instrument. You see, I'm just scrolling this wheel by one, and then I end up in the territory of the bass player. I don't have to search, I don't have to download the sounds, I don't have to review the sounds. I know exactly what I'm going after, which means I've got this momentum after recording the drum set to basically to jump on the immediate another instrument. So look, if I scroll this wheel one more time, I end up in a territory of the piano player. Okay, if I scroll it again, I've got electric. Okay, so basically I'm in a zone, I'm not wasting my time and energy, and the whole recording can be cohesive because I felt the drum set. Now I can feel the bass, what feels the drum set as well. So I've got like a momentum, right, what I use. Okay, the bass player, it's gonna follow the chords progression. Most of the bass players will follow the roots of each chord. The good news is that there is a B flat major 7 for 2 bars, and there is a B flat sus 4, which is different kind of shape of the chord, but it shares the same root with the previous one. So now I could very easily just commit to those octaves and just be successful. Okay? For fun, let's just record it. Since this is the first take by that instrument, we are going to record it from record and play. I don't have to do overdub. You have to remember that this is a bossa nova. Okay, so you have to remember that this is a bossa nova. Let's just undo this whole thing. Select all, delete, done. So now, you heard this first version when I use octaves. What if I add additional note, which is perfect fifth, which is a fifth of that chord? The good news about this fifth is that this fifth is included in the other chord, B flat sus 4. So this note, it's already included in both. So if I jam like this, these notes will cover my butt cheeks, right, for the entire introduction. Let's just record it. Oh, from the start, record. Here we go. And switch. So at some point I switched this 5 into 4, which is part of the B flat sus4 sound. During the second round after 8 bars. Okay, so I'm jamming with other musicians. So look, now I'm gonna switch. 4 is coming. See this 4. It's still recording, so I better not touch anything. Okay, so I start kind of tweaking and changing one note here and there. We added by accident one of the notes here, so let me hear if it makes sense. I like it, no problem. Okay, so B flat major 7 includes 1, 5, and 1. When B flat sus4 happens, we just added that 4. Okay, which is tension 11 anyway. And we've got the idea. So this is like a Latin feel of the bossa nova. Of course, the bossa nova tone. We are going to treat the bass that way later on, but since this is an introduction, I'm trying to do something different with it. All right. So look, I go to main, and then we are switching acoustic bass to piano. And all of a sudden, we've got the piano sound. How cool is that? So now look, we just recorded the bass line like a minute ago, and now I'm hitting record for the piano, which means I don't waste my focus. My focus stays sharp. Okay? Record from play. And just see what we can come up with. Horizontal view, 16 bars. Now I see everything. All right, let's do it again. Repeat the same thing. You see, this section is different from the previous one, and I'm going back to the previous one. All right, so there's so much passion, so much like a breathing space, right? What those instruments kind of interact with each other. There's a lot of drum set in our sound. Since we are done with the drum set, it would be nice to kind of lower the volume of that instrument. All right. Beautiful. So as you see, there's a lot of passion, lots of air in that space, and lots of excitement. Now these musicians interact with each other, which is very powerful. So like we mentioned earlier, when we analyze what the piano player is doing, if we let's just solo that instrument and start from the beginning. Of course, this lesson is not about editing or changing anything, it's just recording session. Any instrument it's allowed to have mistakes. Now we change the approach towards another 8 bars, as you see, and we presented something different on the piano instead of repeating the same. And then we go back as a reminder that the music introduction exists for that reason, so your ear can hear it. Okay, so how does it interact with the bass? We can mute the drum set and just play the acoustic bass with the drum, acoustic bass with the piano. So I'm looking at the music sheet and I'm following the chords progression and I'm listening if they both communicate well. Okay, you've got the idea. So now I know that the recording is clean. What I mean by clean, there is no mistakes regarding the chords. Chords progression continues. Chord changes for another chord. I'm supposed to include certain notes what match that chord. If they don't match, I will hear it now because the drum set is muted. So everything what you hear is related to the harmony in music. So thanks to this method, I can evaluate the relationships and how they interact with each other. If I don't like something, or something sounds suspicious, I will notice it. Why? Because there is no pulse. When we add the drum set, you're going to realize that I can't hear. I can be mesmerized by that beat. All right, so this is the drum set, bass, and piano. The topic of the next video is the sequence number 2, what we call a verse. Okay? We're going to record the same thing, the drum set, the piano, the bass, but we are going to take a different approach towards that recording, so stay tuned. If you are new to us, please subscribe. My name is Piotr Kowalczyk. See you next time. Repeat the same thing.